All right, so Elsweyr, tons of information. Tons of information was thrown out this past week. Let me tell you, man. I picked a bad week to have a busy week. There was a ton of information thrown out this week, not only with just the racial changes, which was in the last video, but now we have also, I'm going to go over with you guys the changes from Elsweyr, or the announcements rather from Elsweyr that we learned, and just about the upcoming year in general. Do keep in mind, I'm going to be covering a lot of the patch stuff and the PTS stuff on my website. I've never really done that before, but a lot of people have been asking me to cover patch stuff and to cover the PTS. Now, for those of you who watch me very frequently, you know I do not like streaming the PTS. I find streaming the PTS rather boring, but I will be making videos on the PTS as well as my findings and what I've found, you know, what I've tested and whatnot. We'll probably do a little bit of PTS streams as they come along, but I tend to test things on the PTS when chapters are coming out because there's a lot more changes to test, so I can kind of sink my teeth into it more. But for DLCs, I kind of tend to skip over it, but I will be giving you videos on stuff that's coming on the PTS, but again, streams, maybe not as much. But the Elsweyr chapter and the whole year of 2019 is the Season of the Dragon. And unlike previous chapters and DLCs, all of the content from 2019 is going to be linked together into an overarching storyline, which I'm very happy about. I'm very, very happy about. I was never a fan of the disjointedness before, the disjointedness that the kind of the DLCs and the chapters, you know, kind of had. It was like each thing was its individual thing. But this is going to be one full year of a story, and I like it. And we're going to be doing it a dungeon DLC, a chapter, another dungeon DLC, and a storyline DLC. We know the Q1 DLC is Wrathstone, and the Q2 DLC is chapter is Elsweyr. So for the Wrathstone DLC, we're going to have two dungeons, Frostfall and Depths of Malatar. Frostfall is sealed away deep within the mountains of Eastmarch. Players must seek out one half of the Wrathstone tablet. That was the thing that, you know, myself and a bunch of other people got in the mail. I put it on Twitter. Players will face goblins, Dwemer, and all manners of traps in order to get there. And also, in the Depths of Malatar, sealed away within the sunken city of Garlos Malatar, players must seek out the other half of the Wrathstone tablet that is fiercely protected by followers of Meridia. These followers have devoted their lives and very essence to making sure that the tablet is never again returned to the surface. That's the DLC that we can expect in the upcoming months. And then we have the Zone of Elsweyr. Elsweyr is going to have a couple different distinct areas in it, a savanna, desert, and a jungle, so you'll be able to experience different climates just within the zone. As you can tell, the zone looks pretty big. It's going to be a lot there. And then the long-awaited Necromancer class is being added to the game. Long-awaited Necromancer class. I plan on making myself a Magica Necromancer. Originally was going to make a Stam one, but the more that I kind of have been thinking about it and the more I look into it, I think I'm going to roll a Magmancer, or whatever we decide to call it when the time comes. But I'm excited. It's looking cool. So we're going to have 3 skill lines, obviously. You know, Reaper is going to focus on dealing damage. Bone Tyrant is going to be your tanking and defensive line, while Living Death is going to focus on reanimating bodies and healing. And do keep in mind that the reanimation of the dead bodies is not going to be a permanent pet. It will be kind of like as Rich said, fire and forget. So it's just you use it, it goes, and it does its thing. And then in terms of skills that we can look at, these are the pictures. So this is Elementalist, Bone Armor, and Soul Mending. You guys can check that out on my website. You guys can see that below in the description. Then we also have a look at the Bone Colossus Transformation Ultimate from the Bone Tyrant skill line. So if you guys want to check out these pictures specific, again, link will be in the description. Now, dragons are coming to Elsweyr, or, you know, see everybody in chat, wyverns. But with how popular Skyrim was, it's no surprise that they're bringing dragons into the game. And do keep in mind, though, that because we're not the Dovahkiin, they're going to be much tougher for us to fight. So I'm guessing that dragons are going to be a much harder mob for us to kill as opposed to they were, you know, like I said, in Skyrim. And there's going to be a, you know, variety of dragons flying around, a ton of different mobs to interact with. We also are getting some new NPCs, and one of the first ones we got to take a look at was the Afik, which these things are cute as hell, dude. They're like little house cats with like hats and like I don't know, I don't want to say tops, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like they have like little shoulder things here, which is they're cool. They're gonna be cool to interact with. I think they're gonna be little shits of NPCs. I think they're gonna be cool. I'm excited. So we're gonna be seeing these. These are the first looks that we got, but they're also gonna be giving us some other Khajiit types that we haven't seen yet, that they haven't shown yet. So there will be more to come. But this is just our first look. We're also getting a new trial called Sunspire, and it's a full trial, no more mini trials. We're getting a full trial. And the cool thing about this one, compared to the other ones, that all the other trials in the game, is that each boss is going to have its own individual hard mode, as opposed to just the final boss. So that will be very, very cool. And it's going to be, of course, all dragon themed. And then if you want to order Elsweyr, if you pre-order Elsweyr, you can get this horse. All the different editions, again, you can find it in the article below. And we're also getting some quality of life updates, many of which I'm very happy about. First of all, champion points. The cap is no longer being increased. No longer being increased. They're not satisfied with the power creep that champion points are bringing, as well as, you know, how grindy the game has become. You know, if you look at a new player and they're like, what's the max level? And you're like, 810. They're like, what? So, you know, it makes sense that they're trying to halt CP. And this tells me that they don't know what they want to do with the CP system yet. To me, it looks like that they're either going to completely redo it, which would be interesting because they'd have to basically redo the entirety of the game's scaling like they did in 110 Real, which is a huge update. Or they have to, you know, lower some of the percentages or just figure out a way to kind of move some of the points around. So they're pausing it in the meantime while they figure out what they want to do, which I do think is a good idea. Racial passes, we just went over. PvP artifacts. Cyrodiil is going to get artifacts. So you're going to get these big weapons that you could pick up around the world and just slaughter people with. And they're going to make you very powerful. They're going to give you a unique skill bar. And if you do not continually kill people, though, the weapon will slowly kill you. And I believe Rich said that this will be a good counter to if somebody's like an emperor in your campaign, being able to have the PvP artifacts, you'll be able to slaughter that guy and kill him. So it's gonna make the people will be zerging to the artifacts though. So it's gonna definitely be another thing in the zone that people are gonna be running around trying to get. So it'll be interesting to see how the dynamic goes in Cyrodiil. What if the M picks up the artifact? Your game will quit. Your game will quit. Now, the Imperial City campaign. The Imperial City campaign. Guys, pray. Everybody get on your knees and pray. Because according to them, according to Zos, they said it. They said it. Making Imperial City... I'm going to put my mic away because I'm going to yell. Making Imperial City its own campaign that you can queue for, okay? Removing it from the map of Cyrodiil should help with performance. Should help with performance. So we might finally see some performance improvements in open world PvP, which makes me feel all kinds of ways. If I get debated with this, oh, Zos, I'll feel so betrayed if you debate me with this, man. I'm hoping, I'm praying, I'm wishing the best. Even if it's just a small performance increase. A performance increase is a performance increase. Because it can't get any worse. So, I'm very happy about this. I'm very happy about this. Honestly, IC is one of the most fun PvP instances in the game to me. I love it. And to have it get its own campaign means that people will be more likely to queue for it because you'll have, like, you know, all the campaigns of IC shoved into one. And it's gonna be nice. You know, people will be able to more easily access it, which means that they'll be maybe more inclined to actually play it. Now, the interesting thing will be, is it going to be one campaign with CP only? Is it going to be one campaign with no CP? Are they going to make two campaigns, a CP and a no CP? We'll have to see. But I hope that this just gives some sort of improvement to Cyrodiil. I know some people, you know, in chat are saying that's probably going to do nothing, won't be noticeable. But even if it's just a couple FPS, just something's better than nothing. A bone must be thrown. Hopefully. Finally, guild search, guild store search, and zone guide. We can finally get a text search and guild traders. They did it. They did it. Text search and traders. Just add this to my bag and bank, and you guys will be my best pals. So we're getting a text search and guild traders, and they're also upping the guild store UI. So if it looks good, I'll probably end up dumping Master Merchant, or not Master Merchant, awesome guild store. But we'll have to see how it looks. But overall, I'm very excited to see the guild UI improvements for the store. Much needed. We're also getting this is coming to console too. It is coming to console. Do not worry. We are also getting guild search so that you can search for guilds. So instead of just having to go to like Reddit or to go to the forums, you'll be able to search for guilds inside the game. I know WoW has a very similar system to this, so that's very cool. And then they're actually adding a zone guide, which I'm very excited about. So it will help you with your completion in the zones with finding, what you haven't done, what still needs to get completed, and etc. etc. Just follow the stories and the quests and whatnot. So it'll be good. It'll be good. I'm excited. But that is that's all we got, friends. That's everything that's coming.